Revive, we are on an incredibly interesting topic.
Absolutely.
That we're going to continue this week. If you haven't watched our last episode, go back and watch it because you might not know what we're talking about this week.
Yeah, definitely watch that.
Watch this week and then go back to last week.
Absolutely. Well, we have some exciting news coming up. This weekend, we have Encounter Fest
Ooh, yes.
2020. That's the first time.
What is Encounter Fest?
Okay, so Encounter Fest is not The Awakening.
It's also not. Okay, no.
What?
Say it.
Never mind. Okay, don't say that. Encounter Fest 2020 is a event geared towards youth and young adults, so totally online. We're gonna have a whole bunch of a lot of stuff on Zoom. We're gonna be talking to some leaders from around the world. We're gonna ask questions. There's gonna be leaders. So if you're part of the King's Temple Young Adult Leadership team, then you know we do something called the Young Leaders Collective, and we're gonna have some sessions there. Then the girls have something going on.
Oh yeah, very, very interesting for the girls.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I can't tell them, right?
You can't. Well, it is a Zoom.
It is a Zoom call
Yeah.
that we're gonna have with someone super special.
Yeah.
I'm very pumped for it. I don't like Zoom, but I'm pumped for this because.
And it's invite only.
It's invite only, so go follow us on Instagram. It's TKT Girl Tribe _ Okay, you'll see the handle. But follow us because on the day of the call we're going private, so where only people that can watch our story can be on the call, and it's limited seating, limited space only. So
yeah, one thing they
Follow
have
us.
to do right now is they have to go to www.tkdya.com and register for free.
wow.
For free, absolutely free. All right. Encounter Fest is pretty much that: encountering Jesus, encountering His presence, encountering the worship, encountering the fun. It's gonna be really different. I don't know what really is gonna go on.
Okay.
But I just know it's gonna be special. Oh, the tagline I had for the weekend is expect something out of the ordinary.
my
So
God.
that's so. Do you like out of the ordinary?
Yes.
So-
We want to be out of the ordinary in this situation.
Absolutely, like
We are like 2020 is not ordinary
at all. Exactly.
We want to be extraordinary.
Extra. Yes, I love
Yeah.
that. Extraordinary. So, Encounter Fest, October 30th, 31. Don't do that Halloween nonsense and all that crap.
Yeah.
31st, you're gonna get
I
online.
mean, you look scary anyway.
Wow. Were you talking to me or talking to the people watching
I was
us?
generalizing it, but let me just say I was saying it to you.
Or that's the scary Halloween bench there. So yeah, do that. Have you guys registered?
Yes.
Yes.
You can just say, I'll have to check. I don't know. But do that. That's happening. And then we're taking a break next week on Revive, but we'll be back on November 9th. We're
With special.
We're going to have a special something. We'll let you know. But you have to make sure you follow
Exciting.
our Young Adult page on Instagram and Facebook so that you know what's happening. But we're taking a break next week, but we'll be back on November 9th. All right. We
Good
have
stuff.
the same panel, but we took out one of the younger kids and we brought in a more mature guy. Looks mature, talks young, but he's the hairy man is back. You know, when kids don't eat, they say, hey, Bucci got it too. So the Bucci man is back. You like that nickname?
That's fine. That's fine.
like
But there's not a lot of Bucci right now.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yes. That is so
you cut
true.
your hair.
See, I didn't even know he cut his hair. Like, it's still long. Yeah. But you still look Gucci, right?
Yeah, I don't
Not
mind that.
Gucci, Bougie, no. What's been happening in your life?
Pretty much the same thing. I completed my exams.
Oh,
one of the
wow.
semesters.
And you wrote exams on Zoom?
Oh my,
Huh?
that's a different story altogether.
Okay.
Yeah, we were asked to come before the camera,
Yeah.
and we had to write,
Yeah.
and then scan it, and then upload it. I'm pretty sure everybody copied.
Did you?
I did not.
How do we know that?
How do you
Is
know
there
that?
a CCTV in your room?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when we meet in heaven,
Yeah.
we'll just
Cancel
discuss
yours.
that.
At 120.
At 120. Don't cancel it. You want to go, but at 120.
Yeah, at 120. All right. Okay, we're back. We're continuing our conversation on dreams. And after last week's episode, somebody talked to me and they said, listen, great you're talking about dreams, but there's a lot of people who don't even have a dream for their life.
Yes.
What do you tell them? How do you tell them that it's good to have a dream? Maybe you should start us off.
Well, it's not as complicated as it seems. I know the word can be scary sometimes and get people like anxious sometimes, but sometimes, I'm not saying this is always the case, but most times, what you're generally good at doing and what you desire to do and what you're passionate in doing is generally coincides with your dream.
So, what you're passionate towards could
Could be
your purpose.
your purpose. So could be.
yeah,
Could be.
yeah. You'll have
So-
to check with God on that.
Of course,
Yeah.
and you definitely need to have peace about it. You know, if you're
Absolutely,
gonna if you're
yeah.
gonna pursue this for the rest of your life, do you have to? So, some people are really good at.
I see. I don't think. Let's just pause it. I don't think you can say something you're good at because I'll tell you why. I know it
Okay.
sounds funny.
No, what-
People
okay.
can be good at cheating.
No, that's not what I mean. That's
No,
not what-
in our culture, I
okay,
really
let
wanna
me
grab that.
rephrase this. Let me
Yeah.
rephrase. Your gift in
Yes,
life, okay,
yes,
your
yes, yes.
talent, your gift, and your skill
Yeah.
are usually the three core something
Values.
Values, no, not values, but the three core things that can help you determine what you were created for.
Say that again.
Signs.
The three things.
Your talent, your skill, and
Your gift.
yeah, your gift. Your talent, your skill, and your gift are three things that not always, sometimes God, like for example, our dad never wanted to, he
Yeah.
hated public speaking.
Yeah.
So that's what he always shares. And he wanted to be a doctor. Thank
Yeah.
God he's not.
I absolutely love it.
And then
that
he
he's not.
did his chartered accountancy,
Yeah.
and he was good at several things, but he was so bad at public speaking,
Yeah.
yet his entire purpose revolves around speaking
Public
to people
speaking,
every
yeah.
single week of his life. And
Yeah.
now he's good at it, but he still hates it.
Yeah.
He hates socializing. He hates people and, you know, mingling with people. But when he gets on stage, man, you can't stop him.
Yeah.
You know, he can talk. And
Yeah, absolutely. No, I really wanted to.
So that's why I said most times,
Most
not
times,
not
yeah.
often. You know,
because,
not
because
always.
because there might be some people who'd like to take this and kind of get a soundbite and kind of, you know,
Yeah.
modify that.
Take it
remix
out of
that,
context,
Take it
yeah.
out of context.
Don't do
exactly
that,
because
don't do that.
because people are good at cheating. People are
Cheating,
good at
yeah.
stealing. People are good at
Maybe
all-
what Akka was saying might make sense when
Yeah.
we think in a perspective. Is it adding value to the society?
Yeah.
to the
That's
world?
Is it
good.
helping someone?
Is it
That-
helping
that-
Is it helping
that's the
someone?
point to be
Yeah.
added. What you're passionate about is adding. What you're passionate about, if it's adding value to people,
Yeah.
I think you're on the right path
Yeah.
towards your purpose.
Yeah. If it's making an impact, if it's influencing at least one person in your life,
Yeah.
pursue it.
Yes.
Because we are social beings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're meant to live with each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you're not doing something for someone else, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. How about you? Talking about how I'm a person. I don't have a dream, and all I've seen is I've seen my parents work hard, get a good. Nothing, please. When I say this, I don't mean to offend anybody. Getting a good government job because there's safety in that, and so I've seen that life is good. Retirement, pension, go through the cycle of life. That to some people is life. What do you? How do you tell a person like that you need to dream?
Yeah. So when you have been given a pattern of life, right? You just succumb to the routine, and you don't dare to dream.
Right.
You don't
Yeah.
try to go out, and I mean, when you don't know, or when you're just doing what is given, you don't have your own passions. You have borrowed passions.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's so good.
good.
You have something that's passed on like generationally.
Right.
So if you go out, even though you have started at a stage where you're following something, if you try, even in the place that you are, if you're trying to find your passion in that, if you're trying to do that very thing that you've been given in your own way, I think you will be able to find something where you can say, okay, maybe they have given me this kind of like even in education, right? They lay down these things in front of you, these options, or even though we have been given these options, we have something which is our choice, right? And we have to be good enough to like maybe choose one option out of that. So even though if you don't have a plan, even though if you don't have like an idea of what to choose because you have been just given what's being passed on, try to, maybe we need some courage in that, but we
Yeah.
need to find our passions, find what we like, and choose the options which would make you happy.
And I think that's why you hear this common phrase, dare to dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really takes courage to dream.
Courage,
Yes.
and it's a risk.
It is a
It's
risk.
a risk.
It is a risk because
It is.
it's actually dreaming takes you. If you're actually dreaming big, dreaming like God dreams,
God-sized.
takes you outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Literally
You're like,
kicks you out of your comfort zone.
yeah. It's like there is no way
No
I
way.
can see myself there.
Yeah.
There is no way I can see myself, standing on a platform speaking
Yeah.
to like 50,000 people. There's like, boggles my mind. But that's why it takes courage to
Yes,
dream.
God-given dreams are always like, it's unbelievable when you first see them, but because you have faith, you can believe that God will take you
Yeah.
there. So even we can dare to dream, and maybe the dreams that you get inside of you may not be at the level that God is seeing right now. But when you stay on the course, I think God will reveal the bigger picture to you.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Even though it's small now.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
I want you guys to add to what we've been talking so far.
Well, one of the things, just to add to what he said, is you can always question yourself. One thing with the Indian society is that, like you said, we have a certain pattern with what we live, and it starts right from your childhood. If you go into the Western world, you have your counselors
Yeah.
in your school itself.
Yeah.
They're there to guide you, and they're there to tell you that, okay, if you want to choose this path, yeah, that's what you should be doing, and that's not available right now in this country.
Yeah.
And that's kind of looked down upon as well, that
Yeah.
you're going to a counselor and stuff.
Yeah.
So and also try to when you're questioning yourself, just look to the people that have already done it,
Yeah.
right? If you're saying it's not possible, we would not have a Bill Gates, we would not have a Jack Ma,
Yeah.
we would not have a
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
All these peoples, man, they all have a history.
Yeah.
They came from nothing and they became something. Jack Ma gave this wonderful example saying that he still doesn't understand technology, but he's a billionaire. He does that stuff. What he did is he got the people that understood technology.
Yeah.
You need to find your skill. He's
Yeah.
good at that, and he tried doing that,
Yeah.
and that is how he's become a billionaire now. So
Those that don't know, Jack Ma is from Alibaba.com.
Yeah.
Alibaba.
yeah.
You can find anything on Alibaba.
Okay, so the best advice that I can give someone who is below 20 is expose yourself as much as you can.
This is good. This is
And
good.
I think there's a statistics that say kids who were born after 9/11 think differently than kids who are born
Yes,
before
I read
that.
that before.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the dot-com bubble just exploded.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you can search anything. The power is in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think this is-
just to say, expose yourself to the right things, because
Yeah.
you can expose yourself to anything. So make sure you're exposing yourself to the right things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Expose yourself in the right environment.
As
to
I
the right
said.
thing. Yeah.
Like if it's adding value,
Yes. Yes.
that's
yes.
a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's not adding value,
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
wrong. And the next thing, when you expose yourself, you might like something. And as Akka said, the gift that you have can be your dream. There's a guy that I like a lot called Steve Harvey.
Yes.
He's a stand-up comedian. He says a gift is something that you get maximum output out of minimum effort that you put in.
That's good.
So he just speaks,
Yeah.
and he says that when I speak, people laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just minimum effort.
Yeah. I think he's
Yeah.
talking about me and when we're doing announcements.
Might be.
No, but that's good. Maximum effort, maximum impact with minimum effort.
effort.
Just for some people who don't know what a gift is, because we know the term gift because we read it in the Bible and we know what it is, but to put it into simple words, gift is something that comes naturally to you.
Yes.
Something that you were born with, you were blessed with. You know, I am not as funny as he is.
Yes.
But he can't sing like I can. So like we have our
That's debatable, very debatable.
Yeah.
You're not funny, but you're mean.
Yeah.
yeah,
You're
it's a
savage.
gift.
Yeah.
People argue and say that your gift might not be the best.
Yeah.
Like your comparison saying that you might not be the best comedian. Maybe you should leave it. But
Yeah.
I think if your fingerprint is different than the
Yeah.
person living next to you
Come
and
on.
who's beside you, I think God has gifted
Yeah.
you with
Yeah.
something.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's just
And
out
to
of
add
this
to
world.
what he said, there's something profound in the Bible that adds to this that says your gift will make a way
room
for you.
Yeah.
So if you can find this gift, what are you naturally good at doing?
That
I
becomes
think
your-
that's your starting point to
for your
dreaming.
dream.
Yes.
This is very
I
good.
think, yeah.
I think to have a dream, like everybody said, should identify your gift and all that. I think we need to take some small steps first.
Yeah.
Just take a step. That's it. You know, do something with that. And I think as we go ahead in life and achieve smaller goals and targets, like you reach you have a dream, you have a vision, but there are also goals and targets.
Yes.
Like like goals for a month or goals for a day, goals for a year, and then as you reach forward for that, as you take small steps,
Yes.
and then for sure, like he said, God's gonna reveal it much.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Yeah, the bigger
take
picture.
the small steps, the small
Yeah.
victories leads
Exactly.
to bigger things and
Right.
bigger things. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's good. That's good. so there's that part of the dream.
Yes.
And then there's another dream I want to talk about where there's a dream that God gives you.
Yes.
Okay? Now this is found in Genesis with the life of Joseph.
Oh man,
Yeah.
We're going there.
favorite dude.
Yeah. God gave him a dream, right? God gave him a dream.
A crazy dream.
It was a crazy dream
At that
for
point,
this guy.
for a
was
17-year-old, that was a crazy
teenager
dream.
gets a crazy dream, and so, but that story shows you that every dream has a journey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every dream has a process. Every dream requires patience. You never give up on the dream.
Yeah.
It's gonna get tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna get bad.
Your attitude while you go through the process.
Yes.
I mean, that's probably the one thing that stands out to me in that entire story is his attitude. That you never read in the Bible where he says, God, why am I here? I don't want to do this anymore.
And you know, another thing, I think you mentioned this the last time, is he never settled for anything
Yes.
less than the dream
Yes.
that God gave him. Because there were times he could have settled
Yeah.
for what could have, in that day and
In
age,
that moment.
could, you know, even in that day and age, was a powerful position.
Could have pushed him to his destiny, to his dream sooner, but I think you mentioned it wouldn't have sustained him.
Yes. So we think that when you're in the path of like maybe when you're walking with God and when you get a promotion, and you think staying there and maybe even doing some things that will make you grow there, which might just be like a drawback to your character or compromise in your character, even though that might increase you there, you will not reach your dream there.
Yeah.
Because the way even though you find your gift, right, which let's say you're good at accounting, okay,
Yeah.
you're naturally gifted in numbers, you can do great in accounts. Now one thing we need to check, as we said, is we wanted to know if that's adding value. You can add value to a company,
Absolutely, yeah.
but for you to sustain both of them, you need character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now if you don't have character, right, all your gift is going to fall, your position is going to fall. So I think the main thing in Joseph's character that we can learn is his character.
Yeah.
So because he didn't know the path, he just had faith in God. And the one thing I think, maybe though Joseph was tested a lot of times, I think he was worth being tested because he had a character
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
God thought that I can put him through a test and make sure that this is the guy who I can put in that position.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So he made him ready to sit in the dream that he had, but Joseph didn't know that.
Yeah.
But he was faithful to God in everything. Yeah.
Your gift will get you in the room, but your character will keep you
Keep you there.
Yes.
That's really powerful.
And
to
that other
understand.
quote that I love is, what you compromise to get, you will ultimately lose.
Lose.
So your
Absolutely.
character
So true.
is so important in the journey of reaching your dream.
Yeah, I feel like we're going in so many directions,
Yeah.
but I want you to pay attention because all of it makes sense. All
Yeah,
of it
everything
comes-
connects at the end.
Everything
So
connects. Everything connects. Because there was times in Joe's. So firstly, I want to go through the story. He's sold by his own brothers.
yes.
Okay, that's a great time to give up.
Oh, yeah.
On the dream, like really throw it away and say, I don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
Number two, he's put in a very compromising position with a lady of his boss, with the wife of his boss, and they said Joseph was a really good-looking dude.
Yeah.
And she could have, put him in positions of power, if he worked the strings.
Oh yeah.
Then thrown into prison falsely, but he stuck it out.
Yeah.
Because of character. His character kept him going. His
I
character
mean, you
kept
said
him-
this in like less than 30 seconds, but
Yeah.
this thing lasted for years in his
Yes.
life before he got to where he wanted to go. And you can imagine how lonely it felt, because never in the Bible do you ever read that Joseph had a friend.
Yeah.
Or that
Ooh,
he
yes.
had someone to influence him. And something we talked about in the previous episode was about having the right people around you. It is so easy to find people that can put you down. All the other brothers Joseph had, the only thing they kept saying was, what are you going to become? And it's so easy to have such people around you. But I think in a way it was good Joseph was separated from that,
Yeah.
A blessing in disguise. Because they hated him anyway.
Absolutely.
And they were going to pull him away from it. Who knows what one of the brothers would have talked to him and said, buddy, just pursue something and take over dad's business or something like that. And,
No, but they were like, I know the Bible says that they were jealous.
They were jealous. Oh
Of
yeah,
the dream.
they were jealous. They were jealous. And there are going to be so many people in your life that are going to be jealous. Even your own family members
yeah.
are going to be jealous of where God wants to take you.
And to your face, they're gonna say, "Oh, you're amazing. We know
Yeah.
you can do it." But
Yeah.
inside, they want you to fail.
Yeah. And when you do fail, they're like, well,
they're like,
we
okay,
knew this would happen.
they're right there, like trying to console you because
Yeah.
they're like, "I knew this was gonna happen."
You were trying that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I told you.
I remember.
Yeah, I told you so. You
So
know.
Yeah.
what happened to the job interview?
Looks like.
What is your
you've
son
experienced
doing?
some of that.
Yeah. What is your
I
son
don't
doing?
share-
What
I
is
don't
your
he's in
share all-
ministry. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. By
Does
the
he
way,
earn? Does he
that's
earn
the
money?
best place to be in.
Yeah.
In life, right? Best place to be in life, ministry. Anyway, but yeah, so there are times when God gives you a dream, and if you know it's a God-given dream, man, hold on to it.
True.
Your dream will
Protect
be
it.
tested.
Yeah.
Your dream will be tested constantly, because that's to see if you really believe it's a God dream.
Yes.
Because if you don't believe it's a God dream, you're gonna give up halfway through.
Yeah.
Joseph knew it was a God
Yes.
dream.
Yeah.
Man, he stuck it through. He stuck through it. Eventually, he becomes the prime minister of the most powerful nation in the world.
Yeah.
Most powerful nation in the world. And I love the part where the whole family comes
Back
back
to
to
him.
him.
And what's beautiful is that he doesn't take revenge.
No.
True.
Which, I mean,
Which is hard. Very
Again,
hard.
tells a lot about his character.
Yes.
Exactly. Absolutely. Because he could have said,
get out. Like,
I'm,
you know,
I'm
I
the
don't,
guy.
I, don't need
I
to
told
help
you the dream. I told you so. Here's no. But in fact, there is a certain time in the story where he wants to hug his brothers.
Yeah.
He's crying. He's weeping because he sees there's restoration happening, and then he calls for his entire family,
Yeah.
his father. It's a beautiful story. Go
Yeah.
read it. It's in Genesis chapter 39. It starts at 38,
Yeah.
37, and goes into 39 and up to 42. I think it's a powerful story.
I feel like sometimes God places certain people in your life that have to not hurt you, but like, yeah, for example, in Joseph's life, his brothers were placed there strategically. They did what they had to do because he had to go through the process to get to his dream.
Yes.
So there will be your
Yeah.
best friends, there will be your family members, your cousins who are gonna act like complete idiots to you, and you're gonna think, why am I even related to you?
Yeah.
But they're just doing their job to push you to where you're supposed to be,
Yeah.
to push you to where you have to go to. So, oh, you don't love me? I don't want to invest into your life. I don't want to be with you. You know what? If someone's being mean to you, go say thank you, because they're in some way helping you get to your dream.
There's
Yeah.
some inspiration there.
Exactly.
There's a trigger there. There's a trigger there. I want to touch on something else. This is a vast subject. I don't
Yeah.
even think we'll finish it in this episode here.
Oh,
But
God.
we talked about Joseph not having friends.
Yeah.
But when you have a dream, how important is it to have people that align with your value system so that they can encourage your dream?
So
I want you to talk about that. And even maybe, if possible, give us an example from your life.
Well, first of all, I just want to, people to understand that a dream is like a seed,
Yeah.
that God plants in our hearts. When it is a God-given dream, and it's like a baby that a mother carries in her womb. And just think about my wife. We have 2 kids. Already said that in the last episode, and I've seen her getting pregnant, and her whole lifestyle changes. I mean, every step she takes, she has the baby in her mind. And that's what I feel, because that's why in the last episode we said keep dreaming. You have to just keep focusing on that dream, because once you lose it, it's hard to get back. I feel. So just keep dreaming. Just keep dreaming, and that's the reason you have to surround yourself with people that will encourage your dream, that will
Speak life into your dream.
exactly
Always.
exactly. And just like a woman, when she gets pregnant, and she does everything to care for the baby, the way she eats, the doctor she visits, and the way she behaves, and everything she does, because to her, that seed is important.
Yeah.
She has to get that seed out, and and we have to get that dream out. We have to live that dream, and we have to see that dream manifest. And if we have to see that happen, we must be very careful.
Yeah.
I mean, and take the help of God. That's very powerful. That we need to ask God to help us and the Holy Spirit to help us. But at the same time, there's something that we need to do, and surround ourselves with people that, like you said, encourage us.
Yeah.
Because there will be discouragement.
Absolutely. What's very important in what you said, I think, is how a pregnant woman cares for her baby.
Yeah.
That's how you nurture your dream.
Nurture,
That's
yeah.
how you
Right.
care for it. Like you protect it with your life.
Yeah.
That's if I'm not mistaken, that's how you said.
Living for yourself becomes second priority.
Absolutely, your lifestyle completely changes.
Changes.
Yeah.
Absolutely changes. What you like you said, nutrition, lifestyle, where your sleep patterns, all of that changes. Yeah, all of. And so when you know you're pursuing this dream, right? You have to nurture it like a baby,
Yeah.
like a baby. That's how precious it is to you and your life. That was super
Yeah.
powerful.
Well, I mean, we need to have people that are like-minded. That's one of the most important thing. If you have people that have a different kind of vision, Pastor says this: if there are two people with two different visions, it becomes a division.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a division.
Yeah.
So only try to align yourself with people that are like-minded. We always say this: life groups are a place
Yes,
where you
yes,
have
yes.
like-minded people.
People, yeah.
So that's really important, because if you go out and if you try and find people with the same vision but they don't share the same values, that again becomes a hindrance to
Stumbling
your
block, yeah.
to your journey. So one of the things, if you're aligning, if I have friends that are believers, they're gonna tell me and they're gonna encourage me through the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things with the journey comes different kind of tests.
Yeah.
And we have this hope that God is never gonna put you through something that you cannot overcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you need to have people that can tell you this, and those are the like-minded people that you need to have, and they're gonna add value to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when we think of association, especially when it comes to a dream, when you expose yourself to a lot of stuff, and when you sit down and actually think, okay, I want to pursue this, maybe this is, you might not know initially what you want to do, because dream is something God has mighty plans for you. So when you're starting small, you might think, okay, maybe I want to pursue this. The next thing that you can do the best is find a fertile soil. Because you cannot plant an apple seed in Hyderabad and think that, okay, I need apples.
Yeah.
You cannot do that at all. And when we were speaking about Joseph's story, God did that to him because he wanted Joseph to go through a soil that would nurture his character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring out. And when we think of our culture, it is counterculture to think of dreams and going out into people and associating with them. Like for us, the friends that we have or the association that we have would be our gully people, as we say, our ghetto.
Yeah.
You need to get out of the ghetto.
Yes.
Come
Get out
out
of the
of it.
ghetto. Hashtag get out of the ghetto.
Hashtag get out the gully. Get out of the gully. Nothing wrong, nothing bad against in
Bad
the gully,
against it.
but if you want to,
Gully's not
yes,
taking you anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's the
No,
mindset.
wait, it's the mindset.
Yeah.
It's the mindset.
Exactly.
Nothing bad. In fact, your dream should be to get your gully to your level.
Yeah.
See,
To break
initially,
them out of your mindset.
Initially, when we look at a plant or when we look at a baby, as Anna was saying, it's very supple. It's very tender. Anyone can come and break it. But when a tree grows, you need an axe to break it down.
Yeah.
You need something very huge to hit it
Yes.
so that it will break down.
And it
So
doesn't break immediately either.
It doesn't. It takes effort. So
Yeah.
when we think of our culture, most of the people that try to put us down may be our family and our closest friends. And this pressure is temporary. You cannot sacrifice your permanent purpose for
Yeah.
temporary pressures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This will just last for some time.
Yeah.
You might have a heartbreak. God is there.
Yeah.
He's a God of
Restoration.
heartbreaks.
Yeah.
Restoration.
Your
Yeah.
heart can be broken, but your purpose can't.
Yeah,
So,
that's
that's
good.
good.
Wow. Your heart can be broken, but your purpose cannot. That's powerful.
Yeah. The best example that I can give is when I was associating in my college, I didn't have the right influence. I didn't have someone who would inspire me. I didn't have someone who would come and talk to me like, bro, why don't you do this? Why don't you go around like train people? I would always think of myself. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do to better myself? But when I came around people who were, when I saw them, like they were like, the greatest example that I can give is sitting right beside me, Anil Anna. He would come to my life group and lead guitar in my life group. Way back. And guitar was always in front of me, but I never liked it. And so it so happened that Anna told that you need to lead the praise and worship because the praise and worship leader will be leaving from the life group. I liked the responsibility. I was like, okay, I struggled. I went through it. I learned guitar. I mean, when you learn guitar, your fingers get callous.
Yeah.
So that's tough. Okay.
Yeah.
So after I did that, Anna just didn't leave me there. He took me on the journey with it. He brought me to an extension service that we had in Medipatnam, and then he brought me on the stage, which in effect he took me through that. So that was the right influence. That was the right fertile soil that I have. Just because I was there, I could travel around nations. I went to Singapore. I went to Indonesia. Because of that. So that's the kind of influence that we need. The circle will get small, but it will be the best.
Yeah, and I think that also shows people about how you talked about your dream of influencing people. You have somebody you influence sitting right beside you, and see like the dream you had, and you have a guy who you train, who you put a seed into, who's traveling the world, who's doing what he loves to do, and he's getting satisfaction. So I think credit, of course, goes to God, but I think the seed starts there. So good job.
Yeah. So about association.
About encouragers, people who about aligning yourself with the right people. Yeah.
So it's hard to find people who will trust in your dreams.
This is good.
It's very
Trust
tough
is
to
an issue, yeah.
So they don't even believe you when you say I'm doing good. So it's hard for you to tell them a dream that you say, oh, I think God is telling me this, and it's very tough to find people who would be there. We rarely find people who are like with us throughout our life. Like they are very rarely. I think you can find like 5 people who have like best friends from their childhood.
Yeah.
So firstly, it's hard to find people who will be there to trust you, who know who you are, who have seen the journey that you have been through to trust in your dream. And then the next thing is, I think when you explain the dream to them, it should be that they have the same understanding as you, as we spoke. They should have the same spirit as you, as we spoke. Because if they haven't heard the same things as you did, they wouldn't take the dream as you saw it.
Absolutely. Ooh, that's good. And I think that is so important. And please listen to me carefully. Don't share your dream with everyone.
Don't.
Yes.
Don't.
That's the worst thing you can do.
That's the worst thing. And don't ever share your dream with anyone, because like you said, they need to be on the same wavelength in terms of mindset, in terms of in our context spiritual spirituality, so that they understand. Even at that time, you really need to make sure, are your spirits aligned? Because just because they're Christian doesn't mean you can trust them.
That's sad but true.
That's sad but true. Yeah. Talk to us about encouragers or people. Maybe an example.
Initially when I think the only person I can remember was Mom, who actually told me to get a dream. I think this was way back in middle school, where I literally didn't know what I was doing. I would just tag along to church, tag along everywhere, just do whatever. But that's when she told me, this is your gift, go ahead and start. She was probably my number one encourager to push me to where I had to go. And Dad kind of, I think, played the bad cop, where he said, you're not good enough yet. Get better at your skill, invest in. So sometimes it gets, I know I'm not talking about an encourager right now, but sometimes it gets really easy to say, I have a dream, but then do nothing about it. Because you have a picture in front of you and you're like, yeah, it'll happen one day, I'll pray about it, I'll think about it. This term, I'm praying about it. I feel like people hide behind this, and they become lazy and they want to procrastinate.
Yeah.
And they say, well, God hasn't talked to me yet. Take a step. Take the first step, and then God will start speaking to you. You can't sit in your bed the whole day, sleep the whole day, and say, God's not talking to me. You're not listening. God's talking to you. You got to listen.
Yeah, and you don't have to pray about everything. Like
some things are in the Word.
They're
don't
not
have
even
to
a
pray.
prayer issue.
Yeah, it's not
even
even a prayer issue.
Yeah, you at least need to try and fail.
Yeah.
Because you have your congratulations right there, because you tried.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Rather than doing nothing. A lot of people do nothing.
Yeah.
There's a term called fail forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you fail, you learn from it and
Yes.
you go. So that's the
Learn from it.
Learn from
Don't
it,
do it
absolutely.
again. Just
Absolutely.
learn from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I really feel that there are people who don't have a dream yet, but that there are other people who have incredible dreams that God has placed in their heart, and they're doing nothing about it.
Yeah.
And that is also really sad, because 10 years, the story of the talents.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is God gave you a talent. God gave you a gift. If you do nothing with it, He's going to take it away from you and give it to somebody else who can do something with it.
That's the worst position you can find yourself in your life.
Ever in your life.
In your life, like.
Do something. Do something. The minimal thing that you can do it, because God's never gonna show you your entire dream at once.
Yeah.
It's baby steps.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen really slow. There's so much patience involved,
Yeah.
and you got to be able to stick it out.
Yeah, I was just thinking back to maybe giving a personal example of having the right people. Probably, it's a great example. 2017, the awakening. I don't know what happened. Nothing was working out. Like some of the speakers canceled last minute. I had to get new speakers on
Yeah.
board.
The building
and
was half constructed
the
and was
building
like
was half
all over the
constructed.
place.
And the budget, if the budget was 100, we were at like 5, and nothing seemed to be working.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I literally went up to my dad, and my dad is like, he's amazing, but he really provokes you so that you move into action. Like, do you know what you're doing? Do you think that money's just gonna fall from heaven? Like, do or are you thinking that I'm gonna bail you out? He's like, I'm not gonna bail you out. I'm not gonna give you, access to finances that in our business community that you can just go and ask them. No. What is the plan? And so I was like, why are you asking me this now? You should have asked me this 6 months ago. He's like, you never came and asked me. It's your fault.
Yeah.
Anyway, so cut a long story short, we had a staff meeting with all the youth, and our targets were huge, man. We wanted to have like 3,000 people, and we add everything up, and we're at like 360 or something. I'm like, and so now I went up to him, and you know what? Let's cancel it for 2017. We'll plan better for 2018. We learned from our mistakes. I'm giving up. And then he said, no. That's not the way to do it. He called for a meeting, and then he put us all in a room. I don't know if you remember, this was at our house. We all came into that living room in our house, and he called them in and said, okay guys, this is what you do. Broke down the goals for us. He said, this is how you work, and this is how you're gonna get it done. And then he would sit me down and every day start talking to me about that. Start encouraging me to say, no, you guys can do it. And then he'd ask me to go motivate our team around it. And so here's somebody, and I'm very, very blessed that it's my dad who did that for me, and I have a dad who I can count on to do things like that for me. And so, end of the day, 2017 Awakening comes. We had an amazing time. I mean, building was packed, budget was met, incredible. But if I went and shared that with some people that I know of, they would have said, "You're crazy. Why are you spending all that money? You don't have enough time. You're not going to get enough money on time. You should just give it up." Or the building's half constructed. I already had 50 excuses. If I talked to some more friends, I'd come up with another 50 and make it a round figure of 100 excuses. But that was not. And then I think at that time I came up with that phrase of excuses are for losers, and talking to myself as well.
Use it on ourselves.
I use it on myself as well. But yeah.
One important point that, from what you said was, the real encouragers are people who challenge you.
Yeah.
A lot of times we think if you go to somebody and you want encouragement,
With you.
they might say that's a good idea. Why don't you just stop it and try something new in 2018?
Yeah.
You think that's the encouragement? No.
No.
Yeah, encouragers are like they provoke you. They really challenge you.
Yeah, and the encouragers should not. They should not agree with you.
Yeah.
They shouldn't.
Encouragers
bring the best out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they put you in a place where you have to make uncomfortable decisions, and
They shouldn't be saying yes to everything you say. They have to say, no, wait a minute. You can do this. We've seen you do this before. You have the potential. You need to find people who realize that you have potential in your life, and that you're barely using your potential. They want get yourself around people who will bring that potential out of you. Now, you might say, well, I don't have a circle of friends like that. I don't have people in my life like that who can see my potential, who believe in me, who believe in my dream. I don't know who I can share this with. If you're watching us right now, we're here for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, guys? We're here. Text us, email us, hello@TKTYA.com. We'd love to. We may not be the people, but we have so many in our community. We have hundreds of leaders that we know we can connect you with. Maybe some of them have the same dreams like you do, right? And we can get you with people who will encourage you and push you towards your dream.
Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah. Well, man, we didn't get to it yet,
Yeah.
but I really want to get to the vision book.
We will.
That's really.
I think that's for season 2.
or the next time we
Or
do
the
this.
next episode, yes.
Because we're
I
taking a break. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say, like, so there's, as we were speaking, like, we have a process to our dreams, right? So I heard this somewhere where the guy was saying, God either shows you the mountain or he shows you the next step.
Ah.
So what it means is, even though you know your big dream or you just know the next step, everything involves trust in God. You need to depend on Him. So you either know the next step. You don't know the big picture, you don't know the mountain, you can't see the mountain, but you know the next step, and you need to trust God that He's going to lead you to the mountain.
Yes.
Or either like there are like
I
big
love
pastors who have a big vision, like a big dream, like they see the mountain, they know that they're going to lead like a
mega
mega
church,
church,
whatever.
yeah. So they have the dream, but they don't know the next step.
Yeah.
Where do you start? Where do you go to like start a church? You don't have any idea. So even in that place, God like shows you the next step. So even though you have a big picture, you need God's help, you need His dependence, you need His guidance to take the next step.
Yeah.
So don't be like discouraged if you don't have a big picture.
Yeah.
Be content with the next step that God has given you, what you have right now,
Yeah.
and I think that will lead you to your mountain.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think
So
that's
if like he just mentioned, if you have the mountain right in front of you, if you know that's given by God, try planning it back to front.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. So
Yeah.
if you have the mountain, you go backwards. Okay, that's the big picture. What do I need to come down the ladder, and then you choose what your first step
yeah,
is.
because even in Joseph's story, he had the mountain.
Yeah.
But he didn't know anything in middle.
Yeah.
He needed to go through a valley to
That's
get to a
exactly
mountain.
what I was going to
Yeah.
say. If you see the entire story of
Yeah.
the life of Joseph, it was trusting God
Yeah.
in every
Every-
phase of his journey.
And he just held on to the mountain as hard as he could through everything.
Like a
yeah.
mother holds onto that baby
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
nurturing.
That's right.
Yeah.
And some things people always say is it's so scary to trust God. I've heard this a lot. It's so hard to trust God. It's so scary to. It's only scary to trust God if you don't know who God is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you know the person you're trusting, it's not scary at all. It is so easy to trust your mom or dad because you know they're never going to hurt you or fail you or whatever. It's so much more harder to trust a stranger.
Absolutely.
So if you don't know God, then yes, trusting Him is going to be very scary. Your entire journey is going to be scary and risky because you don't know God. But if you can know who God is and know that He's not going to fail you, know that He's going to keep His promise and every word, then there is literally nothing to be scared about.
And
Absolutely.
even as we spoke about, like people who can recognize what's in you, like Anna recognized what's in Sam. So even in Joseph's story, you find Potiphar recognizing the
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good.
Absolutely.
You have the jailer
And the jailer,
recognizing
yes.
the, potential of Joseph. So
Yeah.
these things, like whatever we spoke today, it totally aligns with the story of Joseph, and I think there's a lot that people can learn. from
Absolutely,
it.
and this is this conversation isn't done anytime
Yeah.
soon. There's so much
There's
to
a
it.
lot.
You know, when you said about if you don't know God, and if
Yeah.
you don't know God, this is who God is to you. Jeremiah 29:11. He says, "For I know the plans I have for you.
Yeah.
They are plans for good, and not for disaster."
Amen.
So if you don't know God, know this about God: that His character is plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. To give you a future and a hope.
And I hope. Yeah.
Not for disaster, for good. So if you don't know anything about God, know this: He loves you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good plans for you. Great
Trust
future for
Him.
you. Trust Him.
Yes.
Trust Him.
Trust Him.
Whatever the dream looks like, trust is the main ingredient.
Yeah.
Trusting in God is the main ingredient.
Yeah.
More than you trust in yourself and your ability,
Yeah.
you first need to trust in God. Because your abilities can fail. Your skills can fail.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Anything else anyone else wants to
Yeah.
add before we wrap up?
I would like to add on that.
Yeah.
This is for the crowd who are not so spiritual, who
Yeah.
are watching this. Get the basics down, is what I would say. You might have a dream. You might have a dream to start a big company. Get the basics down. Are you budgeting in life? That's what Pastor says. Are you budgeting in life? Are you reading books that's concerning that?
Practical stuff.
Practical stuff.
stuff, yeah.
They say, I'm waiting on God to give me
To
something.
speak to me.
Speak
You don't
to
need
me.
God to speak to you to start
Exactly,
reading a book.
that's
Yeah.
right in front of you.
Yeah.
God, who wrote the book?
Yeah.
A human being. Who created a human
Yeah.
being? God. God gave him a brain.
Yeah.
So do that. The best that you can do is ponder on someone's mind.
Yeah.
Get what is there.
Yeah.
And do that. And well, when you come to God, when you have a God-given dream, I always am remembered of this one phrase that Pastor says: your mind might be wrong, but your heart might be right. You might go ahead, you might fall, but God will lift you up.
That's
Yeah.
good.
And put you on the path.
So
That's
good.
good.
So,
Wow.
so that is the greatest encouragement that I can give. And if you're a non-believer, just do
Meaning,
this.
if you don't
Trust
believe
in
in
know
Jesus.
Jesus. If you don't believe in Jesus, who is the Savior, you can just do this one thing. Just close your eyes and say, God, open up my imagination.
Yes.
Because that is something that you can see.
Yeah.
Just open up my imagination.
Yeah.
Go and just pray the small prayer, and that's it.
Yeah.
The rest
That's
is
that's
will be
powerful.
history.
That's awesome. You
I
wanted to
have
say
something
something?
to
Yeah.
say, but we're time up.
No, that's fine. Go, I want you to finish the thought so that.
Okay, so like he said, he was speaking to the people that are not so spiritual.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak to people that are spiritual.
Yeah.
So,
I'm listening.
so ask yourself these 5 questions. The first thing is, who am I? That's your identity. Next thing is where I am from. That's your heritage. Third thing is where I am, what am I here for? And
Purpose.
the third thing is what can I do? That is your potential. And the fifth thing is where am I going? That's your destiny.
Man, say that one more time. Say it clearly, say slowly, because I feel like those are great starters
Yeah.
to set you up for
Anything,
life,
yeah.
for your dream in life. Say that again.
Okay, the first one is who am I?
Who am I?
That's your identity.
Yeah.
Second is where I am from. That's
Where-
your heritage.
Yeah.
The third thing is why I am here
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
That's your purpose. And the fourth one is what can I do?
Yeah.
That's your potential. Fifth one is where am I going?
Yeah.
That's your destiny.
Powerful. Listen,
Awesome.
when we take this week off, I want you guys to take these 5 questions down. Answer the questions, and if you need help, we would love to
help guide
talk
you.
to you
Yeah.
and guide you find your purpose and your dream in
Dream.
life. I really feel we can do this for you. Write those 5 things down, email us or WhatsApp us,
Or
and we'll
write to
connect
us
with
on
you.
any platform,
Yeah, and we'll
actually.
connect with you in person
Yeah.
to talk to you, counsel you, or we can get on a Zoom call. Whatever it is easy for you, but we'd love to help you in any way we can. Yep.
Yes.
All right. And that's it.
Yeah, I think.
That's it. Good.
Until
We,
next time.
we have so much more, and we're going to continue this conversation when we come back after our week break. Don't forget EncounterFest coming up this weekend, 30/31. Register for
go.
free online right now. It is going to be amazing, and we're going to do some great things at EncounterFest. We're off on next Monday, but we're back on November 9th. So stay tuned for more details. Till then, stay safe, wear a mask if you have to, sanitize, pray, read your Bible. God bless you. Peace out.